This educational video is being brought to you by your GAF residential contractor. They have earned this GAF distinction based on a commitment to quality installation and your satisfaction. Simply, you will learn how to avoid mistakes that can cause you tremendous frustration and waste thousands of dollars. Most importantly, you'll learn how to make not only your safest choice, but also your best choice in solving your roofing needs.
Official, and it is very real. It is Hurricane Alicia, and we are now under a hurricane warning.
The weather. It is every news reporter's dream. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. It doesn't matter. There always seems to be a big weather story. A hurricane, a snowstorm, tornadoes, a major flood, big headlines, page one stuff. Hello, I'm Jim Hartz. In the many years I've been reporting the news for a national network, I have seen firsthand what the forces of nature can do to people's lives. I know what they can do to your property, and especially to your biggest investment, your house. And the damage done by just plain old everyday weather is particularly insidious. It's often hidden, out of sight, and cumulative, building up over time until one day, boom. There's a saying that everyone talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it. Well, maybe you can do something about it right here, right now, by making some decisions about that first line of defense, your roof. This should be of greater interest to you than the average person because you're in the market for a new roof. That's why you're looking at this video. That's why you're trying to gather the information you need to make a roofing decision. Making that decision can be a good news, bad news situation. First, wasted energy. Most homes waste hundreds of dollars a year in energy bills alone because their roofing systems weren't designed and installed properly. And this doesn't factor in the extra wear and tear on their heating and cooling systems. Second, structural damage. This is unseen ruin, and it happens when moisture accumulates underneath the shingles on the roof deck. The wooden structure can decompose, and when it does, major construction expenses ensue. Again, this typically results from an improperly designed and installed roofing system. Third, cherished heirlooms lost. Professional roofers hear about them all the time, and it's sad. An unexpected leak and something that is valuable emotionally and monetarily is destroyed. Once more, the culprit is often the improper design or installation of a roofing system. Fourth, savings lost. Most homeowners think there's nothing more to a new roof than just banging down some shingles, so they'll pick the lowest bidder. There are countless trunk slammers, as they call them, who will install a roof for very little money. Ask them if they're insured, and naturally they'll say yes, but many are not. There are hundreds of stories of uninsured trunk slammers falling off of roofs, and guess who gets sued for the medical bills? Believe it or not, it's you, the unsuspecting homeowner. Fifth, missed wages. Think of all those hours spent in resolving roofing problems by homeowners who've made bad roofing decisions. Then translate those hours into lost income. The really sad part here is that by the time most roofing problems show up, the original contractor's out of business. Here's a question. Do you know the biggest complaint categories reported to the Better Business Bureau by homeowners? Roofing, automobiles, home furnishing, dry cleaning, home remodeling. The simple truth is that Mother Nature may be great for you, but she's an enemy to your roof. Her ultraviolet sun rays can quickly cause material breakdown in roofing shingles. Extreme temperature changes between daylight and evening can cause shingle damage from constant expansion and contraction. Strong wind gusts can get under and blow off shingles, especially if they are improperly installed. This can leave your house vulnerable to other potential problems. Wind-driven rain, that is, extreme rain that almost seems like it's driving from across the street and not from the sky. It can get underneath the shingle and cause significant damage, and major leaks if the underlayment of the roofing system is not designed and installed properly. And consider the stress on a shingle. Just 2 inches of rain on a typical roofing system, cumulative, can equal over 2 tons of water. 2 tons. There are many great roofing choices, and there is nobody who can tell us more about that than Tom Silva, who for 10 years or so now has been giving Americans good advice about roofing matters on national public television. Tom, welcome.
Thank you,
We
Jim.
have a little model here that maybe you can show us that it's not just one, not just two things here.
Oh, no, and it's a system.
System.
It's a 5-part system.
Okay, take me through it. What's part one?
Number one, we want to seal all those really hard to seal spots, like the valleys. We want to use a product in the valleys called a weather watch or a storm guard. And that gets right in there and conforms tightly to the valley. Any nails or anything that penetrate that gets sealed.
And this is under the shingles.
This is under the shingles.
Okay.
We install the weather watch or the storm guard in that particular area.
All right, tell me part two.
Well, number two is really a roof deck protection.
Uh-huh.
And it's basically two ingredients in this. We have our metal drip edge that goes along the rakes and across the fascias.
Right.
And we also want to cover our roof decking with a shingle mate. And what that does, that gives us an insurance policy. Let's say we live in a windy area by the sea or in a field or wherever, and there's a wind-driven rain comes in, it wants to blow up under the shingle,
right,
and it can leak. Well, the shingle mate adds an added protection for that.
Now, Tom, what's part three in this system?
Well, now we're getting ready to install our roof shingles.
Many types.
Many types. There's a laminated shingle, that's what we see here.
That's what you see on the roof now.
Yeah, this is our visual thing.
Okay.
You know, real estate people say that about 40% of the curb appeal is all done by the roof.
Really?
People walk up, they see the house. One of the first things that they see is the roof.
Okay.
It's important. There's many colors and many variations of shingles. So it's important to have a nice looking roof.
Number four?
Number four. Now we have an area of the roof. Our attics are warm and cold. The air builds up, it gets hot, it condenses. We need to get that air out of the attic. We have to use a product called a Cobra vent. That's a ventilator. Now that works in conjunction with a strip that we need to put underneath our fascia board down low so that the air can flow in and up and naturally flow out of the house. So we're taking that hot, damp, moist air out of the house.
All right, and part five is last, but certainly not least.
It's the topping on the cake. We have to cover that Cobra vent.
Right.
All right, and we want to use a hip and ridge shingle. But if we're using a 30 or a 40-year shingle, we want to make sure that we use a 30 or 40-year hip and ridge cap.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to use a 20-year hip and ridge cap because you end up with a 20-year roof.
Those choices can be critical when selecting a new roof. For example, just look at the difference that upgrading to an architectural shingle can make to the finished appearance of your home, not to mention the value it may add at resale time. Similarly, the addition of a distinctive ridge cap shingle can mean the difference between a run-of-the-mill roofing job and one that really stands out. Your GAF residential contractor is a neighbor who is financially strong, properly insured and licensed, factory certified, professionally managed, and has a proven reputation with literally hundreds of satisfied homeowners in your community. And here is their simple pledge to you. We'll suggest to you what we would do if this were our own home. We'll install your roof as if we were working on our own home. We will treat you with the same respect as if you were part of our own family. And we won't end our work until we are sure that you are 100% satisfied. Summing up then, there is no reason why your roofing decision shouldn't be a great one. Making the right choices can protect and enhance the beauty of your home, increase its resale value, and provide you the peace of mind you deserve. Reaping these benefits requires a contractor you can depend on, with a roofing system you can depend on, supported by a manufacturer you can depend on. This is Jim Hartz. Thank you for watching.